from his side tonight?
Well, I think he's looking for goals, that's for sure, because as I said previously, I don't think Liverpool score enough goals. I think they need to score a lot more goals in the Premier League this year if they're going to compete with the top 3 or 4. And also be looking to see how Mane comes back. You know, the combinations between the top 4, can they work together? And also you've got legs in there with Henderson and Chan. We've talked about before off the show about Ronaldo. You know, who's going to play in there? Is it going to be Chan? Is it going to be Ronaldo? He's got so many options, and you look at his bench that he can bring on. So it'd be interesting to see how they all compete together as a team.
Yeah, he's got the likes of Solanke on the bench tonight, new signing from Chelsea, Sturridge is on the bench, new signing Andrew Robertson. What do you make of him?
You know what, I mean, I'll sit here and say, you know, every good thing about him, but I'd be telling lies, because honestly, I've never seen look, I know where he's come from. And, yeah, I know. Look, you know, the club have obviously done a lot of work on him. You know what he's capable of.
I mean, what he is, he's more of an attacking fullback, you know, and it makes me wonder, and I was saying to Robbie before, will he try for it at the back this season with Klein and Robertson? I'm not too sure, because from a defensive point of view, he needs a lot of work to work on. He's only young, he's only 23, 24. But going forward, he's fantastic. Defensively, I'm not too sure how good he is. But it's a great move for him.
That seems to be a bit of a theme, doesn't it, with Liverpool and left-back, so doesn't it? Moreno's not necessarily a player who's totally ingratiated himself with the Liverpool fans over the years. That's a polite way of putting it, particularly because of his defensive qualities or perhaps lack of them. Yeah,
look, I mean, on his day, he can be a good player, but, you know, he's probably too inconsistent. Look, I'm not sitting here having a go with the lad, but, you know, he's... I think to play, you know, for a top 4 club, I think you need to be a lot more consistent what he shows. The fact that Liverpool are playing a recognised centre midfielder left-back ahead of him, that tells you everything you need to know about, you know, Moreno.
And defensively, you're looking at what they've got, Lovren and Matip. We know that they're after Van Dijk. No guarantees they're going to get him over the line, even though he wants to come from Southampton, apparently. How desperate are they for another centre-half?
I mean, by what's gone on and what we read in the papers, it looks like they're very desperate. I think they need to scratch up on their defensive side. I mean, you look at Chelsea last year, didn't really concede a lot of goals. The balance of the Chelsea team and sometimes the Man United team, all through the park, was fantastic. And I believe that successful side, you have to be strong through the spine of the team. And I don't see that in Liverpool. I mean, the 2 centre-halves I'm not sure about. They've got Clavan, who I'm still not sure about. And they've not had a recognised left-back all last season. So that area they need to scratch up on. And if they can get someone like Van Dijk, and not only just defends, but can pass, can play, can come out with the ball, can set up attacks, you know, I think it'd be a vital cog in their team.
Does it concern you that they are a little way away from having what you might consider an ideal back four?
No, it doesn't concern me. I think with Liverpool, look, you know, I think, I mean, Incy was saying before, sometimes they've got to score more goals. You know, what they let in. You know, if you think of all the strong teams, you know, the likes of Chelsea last year, you know, they hardly conceded, you know, and obviously you can break away and score 1 goal, they'll win 1-0. You know, we didn't see that with Liverpool much last year. The odd game, they scrape by, but, you know, they had to score 2 and 3 to win games. Look, and you can't be doing that all the time in the Premier League. You know, you do need to be solid. You know, you need to build up from the back. Incy's right with saying, you know, you build a spine. But if you get a good back 4, you know, keep solid, you know, keep them clean sheets, and with the front 4 that they've got, you know, they can score goals. They can do.
If they do get Van Dijk, is he the answer?
He's part of the answer. You know, as I said before, I feel that they've got to get a 20-goal scorer, man. I believe that. You know, I think, you know, you're not always guaranteed that Firmino and Coutinho. I mean, I thought Mane was excellent last year. But they need that 20-goal season, man. I think it'd be a great addition to the side. I think if he went fit at the back, it could help by playing 2 up top. But the players that he's brought in, they excite me. I think Salah's exciting. If I can get Van Dijk. You've still got Sturridge. I mean, no one's mentioned Sturridge. I mean, I actually saw him running back the other day. You know, normally he gets the ball and he just stands still. So it looks like he's taken on board what Klopp wants. And on his day, he's world class for me, Sturridge.
You're talking about like Liverpool bringing in a recognised striker. For me, if he does that, then, you know, where does he play or who does he drop out? Because the front 4, you know, they're all top quality players. So, you know, does he leave one of them out to bring someone else in? I don't know.
If you keep the front 4, if Coutinho goes, then you're going to need a striker, aren't you?
I mean, from a Liverpool point of view, you know, we don't want it to happen.
You don't.
But, you know, it's... Incy say they probably have lacked a little bit of goals, but you know there is goals in that side. You know, they are players who are capable of scoring goals. You know, they're not like a Tottenham who got Kane who scores bags full. You know, but these players will score.
OK, well, you promised us goals, so thank you very much, Robbie. We look forward to seeing all those goals when we come back. Kick-off in the Allianz Arena between Bayern Munich and Liverpool is next.
Gallon of gloss.
Gallon of glass.
2-inch brush.
2-inch brush.
9-inch roller.
9-inch roller.
And a Tiva 2.
A Tiva.
Johnston's Decorating Centres sponsors evenings on ITV4.
Can't fight the temptation when you get the vibration. Won't do you know?
Introducing the Renault crossover range, featuring the all-new Koleos, Renault Kadjar and new Captur. Renault crossover range, now with 3 years 0% APR representative and 2 years free servicing.
J'ai besoin de plancher à chaudière. Elle est où?
À la cave.
Je l'ai plongé, ça va marcher là.
Those. One of those. Ah.
Johnston's Decorating Centres, sponsors of evenings on ITV4.
OK, we're looking forward to Bayern Munich versus Liverpool. There's a few technical issues in Munich at the moment. So we've lost pictures at the moment. That's due to the weather. There's been a technical storm, one of those as well, an electrical storm there. So the good thing is we get to chat to you about Liverpool and about what they might be doing against Bayern Munich in the match tonight. We mentioned
Microsoft spyware alert. Poor.
what they might be doing against Bayern Munich in the match tonight. We mentioned briefly
mit Hummels. Und mit dem ersten langen Ball. Sehr spannend auch, wie Liverpool agieren wird. Es gibt keinen klaren Mittelstürmer der klassischen Prägung. Das mag eigentlich Jürgen Klopp, eine solche Persönlichkeit. Das hat er früher auch schon immer gehabt. Aber den hat er hier nicht zur Verfügung bei seinem Club. Wenn Sie sich wundern, dass es sofort Reaktionen von den Zuschauern gibt, akustischer Art, das sind die Reaktionen der Zuschauer auf die Blitze, die hier ins Stadion fast schon hereinzucken. Denn das Gewitter ist ganz, ganz nah hier an der Arena. Hummels. Auf der Suche nach Alaba. Lewandowski. Und Müller. Und Ribéry. Alaba. Weit aufgerückt, die Bayern gleich mal. So, und das schauen wir uns nochmal an. So sieht das aus, wenn man hier mitten im Stadion sitzt. Also, spektakuläres Ambiente auf dem Rasen und auch außenrum. Das ist dieser angesprochene junge Mann, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Der ist gerade mal 18 Jahre alt. 7 Premier League-Spiele und Carlo Ancelotti könnte ganz, ganz locker sein Großvater sein. Ribery. Da haben wir ihn nochmal, den Mann mit der 66. Interessanterweise, der
Thiago, who flew home from the Asia Tour with a problem, is in the heart of the Bayern midfield. For Liverpool, they've got a few issues too, at least at right back, where Joe Gomez has joined Nathaniel Klein on the sidelines. Coutinho. Now Firmino. Thiago on the scene quickly. There is Jurgen Klopp. His team has been in fine form. They swept aside Hertha Berlin at the weekend. It's one of 4 victories out of 5 in pre-season. He is back in Germany, spent 7 years trying to disrupt the constant flow of trophies in this direction towards Munich. Managed it once or twice. Here's Rafinha. Breaking ball looking for Ribery. Just about stopped it from going for a goal kick. We weren't making it up. Or giving the ball back to Bayern Munich here. Chance to escape on the counter-attack, Coutinho. Bayern Munich were straight on the front foot against Chelsea last week. A chastening 25 minutes saw Antonio Conte's men 3-0 down and barely able to get away from the edge of their own penalty area. So high was the Bayern press. And there's problems here for Liverpool. Karius coming a long way. And James and Lewandowski trying to make him pay.
Lewandowski just breaking the offside trap a little bit there. Timed his run lovely into a ball in behind, and pretty risky from Liverpool with so high up the pitch.
Here's Ribery. Matip with the intervention. And here's new signing Mo Salah. He does have speed and guile, and he's scored a few goals in pre-season as well. Ribery. Muller looking for Lewandowski. And Moreno was back there to stop the pole from getting hold of the ball. It's going to be all action with these two, you would have thought.
You'd think so. You'd think, especially with the way Liverpool have set up with the attacking 4. Really interested to see Liverpool's front 4 this evening.
Here's one of them, Firmino, with Mane on the outside. And Mane now in on the goalkeeper and in the back of the net. Don't leave the door open with this mob. They will make you pay. Jurgen Klopp back in Germany and Sadio Mane back amongst the goals. Not 100% fit by his own admission, but he looks pretty sharp.
Some sloppy play here from Bayern, but very uncharacteristically, but great pressure on the ball. And I have to say, Mane to identify the turnover there and get the run. It's a great run, great pass, and a lovely finish with his left foot into the far corner. When you play that many attacking players in your team, when you have a turnover in the middle of the pitch, it's so difficult to defend against, and Liverpool proved that with this lovely flowing goal.
Just like the weather, he can be lightning, and if he's running at you, very, very frightening.
That's amazing.
13 goals in 27 Premier League games last season. He missed the end of the season with a knee injury. Liverpool missed him. But they do have an awesome foursome that have been selected up top today. And if Bayern Munich are not careful, they will get caught on the counter. It was always a possibility. It only took 7 minutes for Liverpool to inflict some damage.
Yeah, it's not a good start. It's a sloppy start from Bayern. You know, you cannot afford to be sloppy in that area of the pitch. You know, that middle area of the pitch, if you're going to have control of the ball, you're going to move the ball around, it has to be secure. And they didn't do that there. So when Liverpool stole it, they're on the front foot. Great finish from Mane.
Jurgen Klopp did say in his pre-match interview, you can't afford to be passive against Bayern Munich, otherwise you always lose. Certainly his team aren't built for that.
So it's not often you see a Jurgen Klopp's team passive.
Not often you see Jurgen Klopp passive. They've had a mixed pre-season of Bayern Munich. They dominated Arsenal, lost on a penalty shootout. And they've been thrashed by AC Milan, outclassed Chelsea, but then was second best to Inter over the weekend, although the personnel was a little different. Jurgen Klopp said, with respect to Crystal Palace and Leicester City and Hertha Berlin as well, the teams that they've faced on their tour, Munich are a step up. Although that game with Leicester, I don't know if you saw it, was an absolutely cracking match. Lovren seeing the ball back to goalkeeper Loris Karius, who's back in training and back playing again after a hip issue. Thiago hoisting it forward. Rafinha scored a very good goal against Chelsea. Sent forward rather aimlessly, and Trent Alexander-Arnold, who made 12 appearances last season, he sees it back to his goalkeeper with little bother. Here's Salah taking advantage after spot of bother for Javi Martinez. Chan. The idea was right. Liverpool might enjoy playing against a side that will dominate the ball and be open and attacking against them. Their big problems last year were against sides that sat in and said, come on, have a go, see if you can break us down.
Yeah, it's a big feature of Liverpool's play to win the ball high up the pitch and get in and amongst opposition teams and harass and pressure them into winning possession. So a team that sits off, they're going to find it difficult to play against at times.
This is Alaba. Decent looking cross. Lewandowski was underneath it. Lovren manages to get it clear. This is Coutinho. Bayern want to get things moving again. This is Muller. James Rodriguez. Alaba. Away by Lovren once again. This is the goal scorer Mane. Good touch by Firmino. Moreno is scampering away. He has got support in the centre. Mo Salah is arriving, and it's a big save by Sven Ulrich. Well, that could have been real trouble for Bayern Munich. That would have been pretty embarrassing on their home patch.
That's fabulous play from Liverpool. Great build-up play down the left-hand side. Lovely ball across from Moreno. Just inch perfect for a one-touch effort, and He's gone to the near post. You just kind of feel if he could have tried to feed that into the far post there, Salah, he had a better chance of scoring.
He scored 34 goals in 83 games for Roma, Mo Salah. This is Mane from the corner. Henderson. Away by Lewandowski, helping out his defence, and Ribéry is on the charge. It's being held up by Alexander-Arnold.
Good hold-up play from Arnold there, really intelligent. Got back in, did enough just to hold Ribéry up and force him backwards and wait for help to come and take the ball from the front.
He's only 18 years of age. Missed the England under-19s tournament after Liverpool requested that he rest over the summer. He's got his hands full with Ribéry tonight. Just have left a little bit on him there. Hummels. Alaba. Now Ribéry. Muller. Ribéry again. James Rodriguez is engaged by Dejan Lovren. It's feisty.
Just overcommits himself a little bit here, Lovren. I'm all for getting tight and go and put pressure on the ball, but sometimes you just need to hold up and step away, and he gives away a free kick in a dangerous position here for Liverpool.
Concentration of the goalkeeper has to be paramount here because the ball will be slippy. Gloves will be wet, the turf greasy. Absolute torrential rain inside the Allianz Arena. It was 30 degrees earlier. Lewandowski is winding up for a free kick here. Alaba is there too. It is Alaba who strikes it. It's some way wide in the end. He's been at Bayern Munich since he was 19 years of age. It's a long time. Boy, haven't Bayern done well during that period. Winners of the Bundesliga in each of the last 5 seasons. Pushed by Alexander-Arnold. Interesting battle developing between Ribéry and Alexander-Arnold.
For sure, it's a big challenge for him this evening. You just see there, he just rests his head. It's not so much as a push, it's just learning not to put your hands in that position. You know, you give the referee an easy decision if you put your hands on there. There wasn't much contact, but just try and hold off and put your hands on his back.
Interesting to see what happens to Alberto Moreno this season. The Liverpool left full-back was overlooked. James Milner playing in that position over the course of most of last season. You heard Robbie Fowler talking about it in the studio prior to the start of the game, and now they've signed Andrew Robertson, who's only on the bench tonight. Would anticipate an £8 million he will be the first choice come the start of the campaign.
I would think so. You know, that they haven't shown too much faith in Moreno. They're clearly not totally relaxed with him at left back, and James Milner, you know, is filling in that role. So the arrival of a new young left back, I'm sure, will be welcome for Liverpool, and see how he does defensively as well as going forward.
And James Rodriguez trying to poke it forward, away by Emre Can. Firmino wearing the number 9 jersey this season, trying to battle his way forward and doing it well, and finding Mane again, who's on his bike and running towards the edge of the area with others in support again. This time his cross wasn't absolutely pinpoint. It's gratefully in the arms of Ulrich as far as Bayern Munich are concerned.
Firmino really using his body well there, kind of real hold-up play for a centre-forward, getting his body in, setting the ball wide. And this front three of Firmino, Sané and Salah is really exciting to see with Liverpool. You know, a lot of energy, a lot of pace, and very direct at times.
Could have an early issue here, Bayern Munich. Suggestions of a groin issue. No point in taking a chance in pre-season. Corentin Tolisso will be 23 on Thursday. Scored a hell of a lot of goals for Lyon. Arturo Vidal and Renato Sanchez are on the bench if required. Looks like Renato Sanchez is going to be the one who comes into midfield. Thiago is back on his feet again. Thiago's had that problem, which may well have flared up once more. I mentioned Tolisso because he is on whom a lot of hopes rest. If you'd seen him with Lyon last season, you know just how good he is at playing in that midfield role alongside Thiago. This is the man that everyone's talking about at the moment, Bayern Munich's Renato Sanchez, but for how much longer will he be belonging to the Bavarian club?
You have to say they've got great strength in that middle of the park. You know, the selection and the players they have available to choose from, you know, it's a real asset for the club.
Here is Tolisso. Muller turning and shooting from distance, doesn't trouble Karius. And now Bayern Munich will be able to make the change. Thiago, who flew home from Asia, no chances taken with him. He is a resource, a man that they put a lot of energy in over the last few years. Pep Guardiola was the man who signed him. His replacement is Renato Sanchez, a young Portuguese international. Didn't have a great first season at the Allianz Arena. Hoping for much more. Chelsea have been linked. Liverpool were linked yesterday with him. Manchester United too. Here he is, Renato Sanchez. Oh, they're trying to get on the end of that. Tolisso forward again, looking for Lewandowski. Goalkeeper has come out ahead of the pole.
It's a couple of times there where Liverpool have been quite high and balls over the top and looking threatening. If the surface wasn't quite as wet and greasy, maybe they could have been in trouble a couple of times.
Here's Ribéry. Searching for Thomas Müller, who was stretching but didn't quite reach. It's a little bit late on Mane. Rafinha just making sure that Mane knew he was still there, despite the fact that Mane had gone past him rather easily over the course of the first 20 minutes. First game we saw actually today in the Audi Cup was a bit spicy too.
Some interesting challenges and unusual red cards in pre-season, but yeah, it's definitely been played wholeheartedly so far.
What Karius just lost concentration momentarily. Solara has been whacked by Mats Hummels. Quite a youthful midfield now for Bayern Munich with Renato Sanchez and Corentin Tolisso. Jordan Henderson and Emre Can in the centre of midfield for Liverpool. Both these two sides have put emphasis on attack. It's probably at the other end they really need to improve if they're going to be major challenges. I mean, looking at Liverpool from last season in the Premier League, 78 goals scored, 2 less than City. As Firmino, who could be a rich source of goals, has failed 5 yards outside the box. And they scored 8 less than Spurs and 7 less than Chelsea, but they conceded a lot more than all of the top 4 sides.
Yeah, looking at them this evening, they're developing options going forward, and I expect them to score more goals this season, looking at how they're setting up in pre-season. But this is a great opportunity for Coutinho maybe, or somebody to have a nice pop at the goal and over the top of the wall, or even to knock and hit it with pace. But you feel Coutinho's going to do something there.
All eyes are on Philippe Coutinho. It's Moreno who hits it, and it's stopped by the goalkeeper, who had to react, kept alive by Chan. And Lovren coming in at the far post, put enough pressure on. He thought to win a corner, and the referee was having none of it. Difficult to assess just how tricky that save was because of the camera angle.
Yeah, we didn't get a great view of it. It was nicely struck, on target, over the wall. The side favoured the left footer, so it made sense that Moreno took it. But all you can do is hit the target there and force the save, and he did that. So interesting to see Liverpool out of possession. You know, when the ball's high up the pitch, I love the way they hunt the ball down. If a team tries to play out, they're onto their first touch, and everyone seems to know where the other one's going.
Says play on. Mane. Coutinho. Picked up by Alexander-Arnold, who's on the scamper forward. He's got Emre Can alongside him. Still going, Alexander-Arnold. Maybe just one pace too many. Should he have shifted that on beforehand?
No, I thought it was a nice idea. He just has had a slightly heavy touch coming inside to his left foot. The run of Chan really opened it up for him. You know, the defender had to pull wide and allowed him to come inside.
Mane, can he keep it in? He can. Wasn't great defending that. Martinez and Hummels under pressure, and then Tolisso pushed in the back by Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Good save, good up and down, gets a nice on top of the ball. To get it up and down from that range with pace is difficult. He's done that well, and he's forced a good save in the end.
Liverpool apparently rejected £11 million for Alberto Moreno from Napoli recently. They have got a big season coming up. They hope to be in the Champions League after a playoff which will take place in the next couple of weeks, the draw for which will take place on Friday. Sanchez. Well, one back by a combination of Coutinho and Moreno. Coutinho releasing Salah. There's something the referee doesn't quite like in the centre, involving Javi Martinez and the Egyptian. Every time Liverpool come forward after breaking, you can sense the panic in the Bayern Munich backline.
Definitely, they're very direct. They hit them with pace.
Alaba. Firmino getting back there to block the cross. Tolisso. Alaba. Ribéry. Picked up by Coutinho. And Salah speedily went forward and unsettled both Hummels and Javi Martinez, and the goalkeeper came miles out. Still trying to get back. Munich's aims are to be the European Cup winners with flamboyance and flair. They did hire Pep Guardiola for that reason when it didn't work. He did win the league in every season that he was there. They turned to Ancelotti, who is only the second manager in history to win the European Cup or the Champions League 3 times. The other, well, he belonged to Liverpool. Bob Paisley. Coutinho. Tolisso. Now Renato Sanchez. Half an hour played. Who's happier?
Definitely Liverpool. At the moment, Jurgen Klopp will be happier. I just feel that Bayern are playing at quite a slow tempo. You know, they're having controlled possession there, but not really looking to be progressive with their passing. They haven't hurt Liverpool yet, really, and will be feeling that they need to do a little bit more to open them up. They're losing possession in these areas too much as well, and that's where Liverpool are really dangerous.
Very quickly they can move up the pitch at speed from that sort of area, and they will harm teams. Lewandowski made into a superstar by Jurgen Klopp. Robert Lewandowski giving his head at Borussia Dortmund, where the two were working together. Here's Alaba, blocked by Alexander-Arnold, and then away by Jordan Henderson. Here's Tolisso. Coutinho. Wonder how much of a problem Thiago has got being withdrawn inside the first 25 minutes. How much of an impact that will have on that man's future, as it's the second time in quick succession that he has had to be pulled out of Bayern Munich activity.
It's always difficult in pre-season as a player when you're missing minutes and you're missing training sessions. You know, you really feel like you have to play catch-up at some point, which isn't ideal throughout the season. When you get the opportunity to play, you want to step into the team, you know, with a full tank of fuel and ready to go. So these minutes in pre-season and training sessions are really important.
Muller trying to get it back to Renato Sanchez, and it was loose enough to invite Liverpool to try and hunt it down. Ribéry is offside.
Very tight, looks very tight. You'd have to say he's possibly just offside, but it's a little bit concerning that Arnold didn't quite know where he was. You know, in an ideal world, I want him to be checking his shoulder, seeing where Ribéry is, making sure he doesn't get between him and the centre-back.
A bit more concerning is the fact that they showed that decision on the big screen, which causes a bit of a problem for the assistant referee over on the far side, and highlights how close it really was. Liverpool did play in the Olympic Stadium in Berlin at the weekend using VAR for the first time. Here is Mane. Lovely skill. And it's flashed through the box. Salah is there. It's 2-0 Liverpool. It's his 4th pre-season goal. And he will hope that that form continues into the Premier League season. He will hope that the Bayern form does not continue into their league campaign. So much credit, though, has to go to Sadio Mane for his wonderful piece of skill which set it all up.
Mane is causing havoc on that right-hand side for Bayern there. They can't cope with his movement, they can't cope with his energy. It's fabulous play to hold up, see the overlapping runner. Ball skims across the goal and a simple tap-in for Salah. But Liverpool at the moment, you know, Jurgen Klopp referring to the energy levels of them at this pre-season. They're showing no signs of tiredness. They've got more energy, more running, and look far superior than Bayern at the moment, and well worthy of their 2-goal lead.
Well, it was a well-crafted goal and well finished off by their new signing, Mo Salah, who cost £34 million from Roma. Remember, it wasn't so long ago that Chelsea sold him for 13 million. Mane. Almost away again.
Martinez and Rafinha cannot cope with him at the moment. I see Sanchez is coming across to try and give them some cover. They find it very difficult to cope with how direct and strong Mane is.
Balance has got to be right for Liverpool, and Dietmar Hamann was saying earlier today that he felt that they missed the trick by not trying to get someone like Nemanja Matic. Is that the kind of player that Liverpool need in the heart of midfield? Is that why they've been sniffing around and trying desperately to get Keita out of RB Leipzig?
Yeah, Keita would fit that role brilliantly for Liverpool, and you know, that's fully understandable why they're trying to get him out, but it looks like they're not going to sell.
Rodriguez is waiting in the centre. Liverpool didn't deal with the cross. This is Firmino. And Liverpool say that, well, the suggestion is that, well, he said he was going to end up trying to offer 300 million for Keita because that's the only way that they were going to allow Liverpool to take him. But realistically, going to wait until 2018. Does that mean you go in light next season, or do you look for an alternative?
It's a very difficult question because, you know, looking at Liverpool with this front four, you feel like they need a definitive defensive midfield player, one that's not going to stray too far from in front of the back four and be physical and break the game up. And you know, whether you try and get that now.
Here's Alaba looking to try and squeeze it towards James Rodriguez. Müller and he seem to collide. Liverpool managed to get the ball away. That would have been a fantastic ball by Moreno if it had connected and gone through to Mo Salah, who seemingly had timed his run perfectly.
Just felt Moreno could have lifted that there. If it had just got a bit of air to it and dinked it over the top. Salah had the run on the back four and could have been in.
I remember watching Liverpool in pre-season last year. They played Barcelona at Wembley and they were absolutely sensational. They started the season pretty well as well, didn't they? They went to the Emirates and won the first weekend of the season.
They had a great start to the season, and I think Jurgen Klopp's pre-season, you know, they're difficult from what I can gather. I think he works the players very hard. He trains at a really high intensity, and it reflects in their play. You just feel that seeing them come January, February time is the real challenge to how hard Klopp works them and whether or not a Premier League season can cope with that level of intensity of training.
I remember seeing them in the early part of 2017 against Plymouth, against Wolves, with so many inexperienced alternates that were used during that period and cost them a cup run. Here's Ribéry, away by Matip, further away by Chan, looking to try and release Mo Salah. Martinez does his job on this occasion. And Liverpool have had a really good first 45 minutes and have been in control, allowed Bayern Munich to have a lot of the ball, and whenever they've lost it high up inside Liverpool territory, they've pounced.
What's been impressive with Liverpool is that they've been relatively solid and happy for Bayern to have the ball in these areas of the pitch. And you just feel with Bayern that they need to move the ball a little bit quicker when they get in there. It's got to move quicker than that in order to break Liverpool down.
More Audi Cup for you tomorrow, of course, but on Thursday night we've got live Europa League football for you. 7:30 will be on air on ITV4. Everton trying to finish the job against Rosenborg. Almost looked like he was moving in slow motion there. Mane. It often looks like he's on fast forward. Tolisso. Almost found James Rodriguez. The idea was right.
They're the better kind of passes that we need to see Bayern make in order to be dangerous. Those threading balls that break the line and try and get behind the Liverpool back four.
Chan is through here. It's Emre Can being chased back by Javi Martinez. Again, the communication between the Bayern Munich defence has been rather sloppy.
I'm not quite sure where Martinez is going there. He kind of drifting wide of the centre of the pitch and just allows that ball to go straight through the middle and nearly plays the player in out of nowhere. And yeah, it's not been a good 45 for that right-hand side of the pitch defensively for Bayern Munich.
Rafinha coming across. Is that something that will take time to work on? It's not like these guys are alien to one another, just coming back after the summer break.
Yeah, no.
Can it throw you a bit?
It can do. You know, they're looking a little bit leggy, I would say. You know, talking about Liverpool at the start, but you know, Liverpool look a bit more energy and willingness to run. It's just a bit slow tempo from Bayern, and it's reflected in the amount of opportunities that they've created so far.
Lewandowski is moving gingerly just on the edge of the centre circle. He's back and racing again now. Remember, Bayern Munich have already lost Thiago to injury in the first 45 minutes. And they've conceded 2 goals as well. Carlo Ancelotti, who may well make a raft of substitutions at half-time or just after. And he's got a team talk to give. Could get even worse yet. Here's Mane. Salah waiting in the centre. Firmino has joined too. Mane just waiting. Moreno was joining up and running down that left channel. And that's a late challenge on Mane. And he had a bit of treatment from Rafinha already.
That's frustration. I mean, again, the turnover in the middle of the pitch, and Mane just identifies it quicker than Rafinha and the back four. He identifies the turnover, gets on his bike early and leaves him for dead, and he's putting himself in great positions to the point of where Rafinha's just resorted to kicking him up in the air when the ball's gone.
That's too late. Challenges by Rafinha on Mane in this first half. Both of them the product of frustration and isolation in that right full-back position. He's still protesting about it.
Can't have many complaints.
He's 31 years of age now. He's not as quick as he used to be, but you have to be absolutely lightning quick to keep up with Sadio Mane. Coutinho to take the free kick. And it's dropping towards that far post, but no one there to tuck it in. Liverpool fans will be absolutely delighted to see Sadio Mane back. I think the Premier League will be delighted to see Sadio Mane back. Over the course of last season, he certainly provided some brilliant moments.
Absolutely, he's great to watch, and when he left Liverpool for the Africa Cup of Nations and then was injured when he returned, I think he was a huge miss and a very noticeable, you know, hole in the team, if you like, with his energy and running and his pace, you know, and he backs it up with quality as well. He's not just a workhorse, you know, he's got real quality.
Well, it's been a night full of rain and thunder and a bit of lightning too, but it's been the perfect storm